Hello there, YouTube. I am Necrostevo, and it is time for week number 5 here in the MGL. Our opponent this week is Godbear and the Chicago Phalanx. Be sure to go check out their information in the description, and that is one amazing team logo. So we're going to put that up for you to see as well. For our matchup this week, Godbear has access to Thwacky, which is his S tier, it cannot hold an Eviolite, Hatrim, Pawniard, Horsey, Hisuian, Growlithe, Corvisquire, Ekans, Mudbray, Sinistea, and Snubbull. For our team, we have a sub Will-O-Wisp, Disable, Shadow Ball, Ghastly holding the Shadow Tag. That's just there to power up that Ghost move because that no normal types means we're going to try that Ghost spam there. We have a fully physically defensive Heavy Duty Boost Vulpix, Eviolite Porygon with just enough speed to outrun them, a max modest Sinistea, Choice Scarf Mankey coming off the bench first time for Mankey in this league here, Eviolite Chinchou with enough speed for the Ekans and the Growlithe, and then we have our Raboot here, just also running heavy duty boots, just to hopefully be able to pivot in and out and throw off a lot of damaging moves here. That is the game plan, and that's what we're going to try to do. So let's take a look at what Godbear, you guys, can you tell I enjoy saying that, is bringing to the battle. Now for this matchup, we can see that Godbear has brought the Thwacky, the Mudbray, the Corvisquire, Seadra, Pawniard, and the Hisuian Growlithe. And number one here, guys, I don't have a swap in to Thwacky. I can search around for one. I don't have one. He can literally just run Choice Banded Thwacky. That's kind of what I assumed I would be dealing with going into this matchup. That's why I tried to bring defensive Vulpix to see if it could maybe take a hit. But I simply don't have anything for it. With Grassy Surge and Choice Band, it can basically one-shot or two-shot my entire team, and there's not much that I can do about it. I did decide to just lead Raboot, because on the off chance that he tried to lead with the Thwacky, even if I would take critical damage from a grassy terrain boosted move there, maybe I could hit him really hard. The other thing about leading Raboot is that if something like Mudbray or Seadra wants to lead, I can U-turn out of there, so I could always throw that off. Now, the reason I brought Choice Scarf Mankey here, oh, what's that? Billiam, what are you, sorry, distracted. Billiam, stop distracting me when I am battling. It is not the time. The reason we have Choice Scarf Mankey is because I was thinking my opponent might bring Choice Scarf Growlithe, so I wanted to outspeed that. We do see Mudbray on the lead matchup, and of course that means we are just going to go straight for that U-turn. I did expect my opponent to just set up Stealth Rocks here. I don't have any removal, so I could have just gone for a Flare Blitz, but I didn't want to overpredict that early into the battle. I decided to take the opportunity to go out into Ghastly. Ghastly with Levitate means that I'm going to be immune if he does try to go for the Earthquake, and if he does try to go for a coverage move like Close Combat, I'll be immune to that too. I figured that my opponent probably had Smackdown or a Rock-type move just to hit Ghastly, and I didn't want to risk it, so we're going to go out into Ghastly and immediately go for Substitute. Now, while I don't have leftovers, this does allow me to scout what the Mudbray might want to go for a coverage move, and I should be able to really hurt it with the Shadow Ball anyway. Pawniard comes in, and Substitute is perfect here because now I don't have to worry about the Sucker Punch nearly as much. So I would really like to get him to reveal the Sucker Punch here. If he goes for Sucker Punch and I go for a non-attacking move like Will-O-Wisp, it will fail and I will get a burn on him. So we go for a Will-O-Wisp, we don't see Sucker Punch come out, and we also don't see a Lumberry, so this is actually a pretty good start here, because Pawniard, with it being burned here, is very neutered. Night Slash is still plenty to break the Substitute because I am still a Ghastly. I was very, very close to staying in here and clicking Disable, thinking that he might just throw away his Pawniard going, okay, it's burned, it's not going to be able to do very much. Really the correct move here was to go out into Chinchou now that I'm looking back at the battle. Chinchou, with the Pawniard being burned, I would have resisted the Steel type move, and then I would not have been trying to swap in on a Night Slash. But here I go out to Mankey, thinking that he's going to keep on spamming Night Slash into me. And Mankey, of course, would resist that, and it also resists the Stealth Rock. However, my opponent goes for Iron Head, which still does a ton of damage to Mankey. For this being a burned Pawniard, that still did half of my HP. I could go for close combat here, but I'm thinking he's going to swap out and not want to stay here on the field. And I do get that call right. We're going to go for U-turn as he swaps out. And we see the Corvusquire come in. That is the obvious swap into Mankey. I honestly did not foresee Corvusquire coming necessarily. Oh, I forgot to share my choices for the Eviolite. Whoa, did I say that during the team builder? During the team builder, I wrote down that I thought that the Corvusquire and the Mudbray would have the Eviolite, and we get 2 points this week. Haha. So Mudbray and Corvusquire have that. Shoutouts to Pass Me for writing that down, because of course after the battle starts, I can't change my guess there. But yeah, we go ahead and Volt. We U-turn out, bring out the Chinchou. Here I very stupidly go for Thunderbolt. My thinking at the time was that if the Mudbray swaps in, then I can just go for the coverage move. But the play there was to always go for Ice Beam. He does not get paralyzed as he brings in the Thwackey on. That's just like a very aggressive play. I thought that he would keep the Thwackey and preserved in the back, because if I had gone for Ice Beam there, I would have dealt critical damage to Thwackey. But going for Ice Beam on the Corvusquire would have covered for the Corvusquire staying in, it would have covered for the Mudbray, and it would have covered for the Thwackey. Or at the very least, go for the darn Scald and then maybe burn something. I have no idea why I clicked Thunderbolt there. Poor plays. He goes for knockoff, and good gravy, that is absolutely a banded Thwackey. That does so much damage. Right after I make a stupid play with the Chinchou, I make another foolish, absolutely foolish play here. I should have always clicked the foul play. Foul play would make anything pay, basically. But I clicked Pain Split, thinking that he was going to stay in and keep on spamming knockoff. But again, it doesn't really make any sense. Billiam, I swear, stop doing whatever it is you're doing. I don't care about the hula hoops, okay? I'm in the middle of a narration, okay? Stop distracting me. Go do something else. Go find the opponent and do something to them. Stop distracting me. Anyways, as you can see, Vulpix gets eliminated here by a head smash. I don't have anything to swap into that. I don't have anything to swap into the Thwackey, and I don't have anything to swap into a head smash from Growlithe. Now here, I am prepared to force my opponent. If he's Choice Scarf and he thinks he's faster, he can kill my Mankey. But if he's not faster, I'll kill him with a close combat. But he smartly makes the safe play and just goes right back out into the Corvusquire. I am actually pretty pleased with the damage from this close combat. It is steadily chipping down the Corvusquire. Unfortunately for me, Corvusquire does get Roost, so it's not like it's necessarily permanent damage, but it does allow me to know that I probably outspeed it with a couple of Pokemon, because that's looking like a max HP, max defense, Eevee-like Corvusquire. Now here I was so close, you can see the timer went way down. I was very close to just staying in and clicking Close Combat again, because I need a play to kind of get back into things here, but worried about the possible Brave Bird, I go out into Chinchou, and he U-turns right on out of there. Even at -1 defense, Mankey would have still taken a U-turn. And now the downside is that that close combat would have just gone into the Corvusquire. I would have been faster than it. But now Chinchou, or rather, someone has to die to the Thwackey. I don't have anything to swap into a Choice Banded Thwackey. He just goes for Grassy Glide and eliminates Blinky. I'm so sorry, Blinky. I could have played Chinchou so much better during this match here. Namely by going for Ice Beam earlier. But misplays aside, I still have some pieces here that I can work with. So number one, he's locked into Grassy Glide. We're going to go out into our Reboot, because Grassy Glide, even when it's banded, is not a two-shot. I'm expecting him to possibly go out to the Mudbray. I could just go straight for the U-turn, but since I've been mispredicting and over-predicting thus far, we're going to predict him to make a different play. And I was thinking, okay, he might go out into the Mudbray, but he also might go out to Growlithe here, thinking I'm going to go for the fire move. So I go for a high jump kick, and it goes into the Mudbray, so I absolutely could have just gone for the Flare Blitz, unfortunately. With the defense boost, there's a chance that the Mudbray will actually live a high jump kick if I go for it again. And I wasn't really sure what to expect here, so I went for U-turn to see if he would swap out, but he stays in. And so I was like, what? Is he just going to go for the high horsepower here because it was just like good neutral coverage? So I U-turn and I go out into Mankey, thinking, okay, high horsepower is just way too obvious. So if I go out into Mankey on the rock move, thinking it'd be maybe rock slide, then maybe I could take it and then hit him. But what I failed to account for mentally was, oh, he has +2 defense because I've hit him twice. I do get the call correct. He predicted my Ghastly to come in smartly. And so Mankey doesn't really take much from Smackdown, but with +2 defense and Eviolite max HP, max defense, this Ice Punch does such laughable damage. I was just like, okay, yeah, that was just poor. I could have hard swapped with Reboot, or it might have even been better to risk going for the roll there. We only have +1 defense when I was just, in there with high jump kick. Alas, we're not really able to do what we need to do there. So we have 3 pieces left here. My opponent actually hasn't lost a Pokemon at this point, so we need to get back into this game, and it needs to happen right now. I figure here that I could just go for Shadow Ball, because nothing really wants to take that. Even if he goes out into the Pawniard, it's going to take a lot of damage from a Spell Tag boosted Shadow Ball. Especially because now I'm very certain that the Pawniard doesn't hold the Eviolite, so you can see that that does plenty of damage, and I get a special defense drop on it, which gives it a boost. If it has a Sucker Punch, it can absolutely KO me now. And so I decide that I want to go for a Substitute, and he decides that he's going to do something here. Let's see, the timer's going down. Billiam, if you're gonna do something now, for gosh sakes, do it. What do I pay you for? Do it now, Billiam. Go forth and do something here that will benefit both of, just like the most illustrious battle here. Something that will be awesome. I want to see it now, and that is not what I meant, Billiam. What the hell are you doing over there? That was a disconnect. And ladies and gentlemen of the jury, and those in between and not on the spectrum, we had to recreate this sucker 3 times. That sucked. First we recreated it, and my Raboot missed high jump kick. Then we recreated it, and I don't remember what happened the second time. But on the third time, we got it right. We get back to this point in the battle. And I just have to say, a disconnect when you're this far into the battle does psychic damage to you. I was so checked out of the match at this point that I didn't even make Billiam any food. Like, I was so out of it. I don't understand the disconnect here. And I feel like I sound like a CEO at a board meeting. Let's circle back around to what happened there. What we have to do here is just really, we have some things we need to push. I don't know. Anyways, back to the battle. I'm not feeling it today either. Can you tell? Can you truly tell? We do end up taking out the Pawniard. I substituted thinking he would go for the Sucker Punch. I don't even know if he had Sucker Punch. I don't think he did, because he would have used it at some point if he had it. Maybe Swords Dance, Iron Head, Night Slash, Shenanigans. I don't know. But he could have gone for it. Thwackey comes out. I cannot live a Choice Banded hit from Thwackey once again. Now on the plus side, Reboot can live a hit, and so can Porygon. But we needed damage on this. So this is an example here. The critical hit is just Salt in the Wound. That did not matter here. But if I had just gone for some sort of offensive move earlier with the Chinchou, you see that Thwackey has healed back up from grassy terrain recovery alone. Now, I don't know where it would be at after all the switching and everything here, but I think the Chinchou would have done over half to the Thwackey with the Ice Beam, for example. And that would have put it into range of the Sucker Punch. Now we have a little bit of a 50-50 because I'm faster than the Thwackey, and I know that my opponent knows that. So, one thing I could do is expect him to expect me to go for high jump kick, because I know that Growlithe can come in here for free. I end up going for the Flare Blitz as he goes out to the Mudbray, and fortunately, now the Mudbray has been whittled down enough so we're able to KO it. I will totally take that, because now that at least removes that variable from the match, but that also means that now the Growlithe can just come in, and once again, if I had gone for the foul play on it earlier, it would have been in range of a Sucker Punch. That would have done like 55 to 65% damage to it, because this Growlithe is some sort of boosting item. I'm thinking it's Choice Scarfed. It was a severe misplay to not go for that foul play earlier on. I'm not really sure why I thought that the Thwackey would stay in. And really, even if I thought that the Thwackey would stay in, the play would still be the foul play, because it guarantees damage on something. We can see the gross amount of damage that Sucker Punch does here, but alas, even with my type not weak to the head smash, that's just an obscenely powerful move, and so it does enough damage to take me down. Now, Porygon can absolutely clutch up here if I just don't take damage, but unfortunately, Growlithe is faster than Porygon, even if I have all this speed on here for the Sinistea. Fortunately, the Growlithe is in range of my Shadow Ball, and so maybe he'll miss a head smash? No. This Growlithe is locked in, and I am able to finish off the Growlithe with Shadow Ball, but that means that Thwackey can come in and finish off the battle. So, that is going to be a loss this week in the MGL. Contrary to, I think, the last other weeks there where I think I played well, I just really don't think that I played well here. I have identified several things where I could have done better, namely maybe not sending Billiam out to go do something useful, like disconnect things. I don't know if he did that or not. I'm blaming Billiam. Godbear, thank you for the battle. You can blame Billiam for the items disconnecting as well. I don't know. I just know that that really wasn't my match. But I am ever thankful for the opportunity to face a new opponent. And make sure, yes, you watching this, the one in the pants, make sure that you go, yes, you also as well, wearing the skirt. You with the shorts, we're not going to talk to you. I know they're comfy and they're easy to wear. But everyone else, go watch Godbear's side of the battle. Their information will be in the description. Thank you for watching my side, and I will see you next time. Good night.